Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. The footage is probably really grainy because yes, I'm filming on my iPhone and it's dark at night. I am sat in my office. I'm all glad ragged up because I'm about to do a online event with the Elizabeth Gaskell house, and I thought I'd do a very short little video to say, to kind of talk you through the process, because I did my Bamber event. You've seen the ones like I did my video at Halifax, which I'll link in an iCard, which was an in-person event, but these are some of the other ones that I do every now and again as well, is an online event. And it's lovely because it kind of feels a little bit more intimate. I get to kind of see people more on screen and things. It's a completely different experience and I enjoy it. So I'll show you what I've got set up and how I kind of do it, and then we'll get into it. Right, so I've got two screens. These won't be like this when I get onto the Zoom call. I'm going to join in a minute. We're going to join onto the call and we're going to go through things like how the presentation works. So I've got to share screens and this, that and the other. But this is kind of roughly what I will see. If you can imagine people down the side throughout the Zoom call is basically what I will see. So I've got my presentation here. It's just a series of slides. Oh, no, I'm not on the right thing. Let me click into here. So it's just a series of slides. Why is it not sliding? Oh, there, I have to go down. Of the different people that are, from my book. It's just photos. It's basically the inner pages from my book that shows the characters, the people. So I'll kind of go through that as I'm talking. And then here is my presentation itself. And I've kind of scripted it because the other person that I'm sharing the event with, Elizabeth, she has completely scripted out her talk. So I want it to kind of be a similar style. There's no point in her doing something super scripted and then me doing something super casual. It might just jar a little bit. So it's going to be a little bit scripted. But I've mainly put like notes about the four different women. So I've got a little introduction and then I'll talk about each woman individually. I obviously can't go into a lot of detail. It's on like 20 minutes maximum that I'm going to be talking for. So it's just a little bit of intro about each lady, and particularly talking about like why they were unmarried, because that's what this event is about, unmarried women. Elizabeth Gaskell had 4 daughters and I think at least 2 of them were unmarried. So yeah, it's kind of talking. Elizabeth's going to talk more about Elizabeth Gaskell and her daughters and the Gaskell house, and then I'm going to talk about my book. So yeah, I'm about ready to go. I always get a little bit nervous at this point, but I get less nervous to do an online event than I do an in-person. I can still get a little bit nervous, although to be honest, I'm trying to identify the difference between nerves and excitement, because I think a lot of the time it's just excitement. But yeah, I'm ready to go. So let's get into it, and then I will tell you how it goes afterwards. It's probably going to look absolutely no different because I'm just going to be here on camera again. Maybe I'll stand up and then I can show you how it goes. Okay.
So tonight I'm delighted to welcome 2 speakers, Elizabeth Williams from Elizabeth Gaskell's house and author Charlotte Furness, for a look at Unmarried Women, A Life of Freedom. Charlotte Furness is a published author of women's history. In 2016, she secured a 3-book deal with Pen and Sword Publishers to create a trilogy of books about women's experiences within the sphere of the country house.
Married single women were almost scary to a lot of men at the time, and so I think that they've kind of been left out of a lot of the history books. They've not really been written about as much, and that is changing obviously now in modern times. But I think that single women and women who had their own fortune were more prevalent than we think. Even married women who had position were more prevalent than we think, and so the likelihood is that there was probably quite a few role models and inspirations for Shirley for the novel. But I also do wonder sometimes whether that's maybe who Charlotte Bronte would have loved to have been, was Shirley. What do you think, Elizabeth?
I think it's really quite difficult and dangerous to go looking for a single inspiration. I think any writer creates something. I think I might have mentioned this before, that Trollope's mother, who was a novelist, said when she was accused of abusing people, "Of course I do, but I pulp them." Yes, you would never recognise a pig in a sausage. And I think
Oh, right, I've just finished. I've just finished. I forgot to put my earrings in. No, sorry, I popped my earrings in and then I've taken them back out again, just in case you're like, where are her earrings? I popped them in because I was going to wear my multicoloured ones. I was going to wear, and you couldn't really see them against my hair. So I actually wore my book earrings. Would you like to see them? I wore my little You can't see them. They're little book. They're copies of my book, basically. My mum bought them for me a couple of years ago for Christmas, and they're little earrings that are my book. So I wore those. I try and wear those for as many of my kind of reading, not reading. Oh God, my brain is fried. I'm tired now. This is the thing that happens. I'll do the event and then afterwards I'm like, and crash. I'm tired. Why is my computer not shutting down? Don't want to save the changes. Yes, save the changes and then shut down, please. Shut down so I can go to bed. But yeah, I think the event went really well. It was lovely to do an event with another person. I've not done one with somebody else before, and it was really lovely to hear Elizabeth's talk and to share the event, because an hour can be a really long time. So I'm trying to find some good lighting. There we go. An hour can be a really long time when you're doing it on your own. So doing it with somebody else was really lovely. And yeah, it was very nice. People from all over the world came. Like, there's somebody in Canada, someone from the Netherlands. Somebody else was from Melbourne, but they were actually in Manchester, which was really cool. So yeah, if anybody's watching who came along to the event, thank you so much for coming. Do follow me on YouTube, subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on my social media and stuff, and you can hear about future events that I do. I share a little bit of my life here on YouTube, little writing vlogs. I talk about books, I do book reviews, I talk about period dramas, history, lots of different kind of history, heritage, booky writing content. So yeah. And yeah, thank you if you did come along to that. And if you didn't, don't worry, I will probably be doing another one in the future, so you can join at that one. But yeah, it went really well. I really enjoyed it. And now I need a drink. Gonna go and have a cheeky glass of wine to celebrate and to say well done on getting through. Not getting through, that makes it sound like it was a horrible thing. It was really enjoyable, but like a little celebratory glass of wine to say, yay, I did it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this very, very mini writing event vlog, but I just wanted to document the fact that I'd done this lovely event, and to thank Elizabeth Gaskell House again for inviting me to speak about my books, and lovely to meet Linda and to speak with Linda. To speak with Elizabeth and to meet Linda from the Elizabeth Gaskell House. So yeah, thank you very much, and thanks for watching this little mini video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.